Video archive 39, LPSN long. Entry $1.32. Exit $1.49. 12.9% gain. Trade duration, 1 trading day. This is my trading chart. All righty, let's share the chart. All right, there's 2 trades on here, but it's this one right here that we're looking at. As you can see, I was basically, as I've been doing the last 3 videos, I've just been trading this trend line basically on touches of the trend line. We didn't quite get a touch here, but you can see there was a pretty strong reaction on the retest of this high. And we broke back above a 236, which you can see happened with some velocity, that big green candle right there. Retested it, held it, went up. I entered at about the 382. This one I actually entered an aftermarket on this day. I wasn't watching it. I was in Alaska in this day, so the combination of the 1 hour holding that 50 period moving average, we see we had that reaction I was talking about right there. Right there. And we have a specific thing I'd like to see on the MACD, which I'll pull up real quick. So you see we get a cross of the signal line and cross of the signal line, and we move back through the center line. Which leads to a move. We also get our RSI taking back the center line right here after putting in divergence and holding this. I'm hesitant to call it a support line, but we'll call it that support line on the RSI right there. That we had a touch on each time. God, such a beautiful uptrend to trade. Been so easy. You basically could have just bought every time it touched this line I just put on there. Which, let's jump to the hourly, just glance at this RSI signature. Yeah, you can see it's just a test at the center line. So that's an even easier way to have traded this, just buying at the center line on the RSI and then using the diagonal, using the upward sloping diagonal as a place to manage risk. So this was a bit higher risk. The trade I took here was a bit higher risk because we didn't come down and touch the diagonal here. So I made sure to manage my risk tightly. You can see I set it back at this 236. In all reality, I moved it up as price went up. But then we got to this 886. And just to quickly zoom out and look at the bigger picture. So it's right here that I exited on this candle. You can see there's. So I was expecting a higher high because that's what was going on, right? Higher lows, higher highs. Oops, that's terrible drawing. So that on that, we hadn't gotten that third high yet before I exited, but you can see we had 3 touches of divergence on the 4 hour here, and we lost the bearish control zone. So to me, that was a huge signal of, okay, manage your risk, take your profits off the table, because on a macro, or I guess I'd call it in context of the larger scheme of things. Let me close my indicators here. Like we were at resistance. With those 3 touches of divergence showing up, which is a huge change in the risk profile. And then also where I actually exited was an 886 of the previous high here, which does speak to somewhat of an illogical or impulsive decision to get out. Because if I was expecting a higher high, I probably should aim for this 113, which is exactly the high to the penny, 160. No guarantee I would have my order filled though. And as you can see, since then, we've started putting in a downtrend. We've lost this trend line. So I was really just protecting profits. Now I'm looking to re-enter. I didn't actually take, well, I did take this trade, but I just bought a very small amount. And I'm just scaling into my next position. But I think we got a flash target here on the 15 at 113, which is confluent with right here. So that's the trade that's going on now. It's my Lipson trade. Still living, still lisping, and